Time flies, don't it? Oh, it flies. It flies like crazy. You remember this old warhorse here? Well, this is my Ariens Apex, and about 1 year ago, right around a year ago, I think it was, I gave you a little review of it, told you about it, say that I work it hard here on this farm, and it's taken quite a beating, so I thought you might be curious as to how we're doing. We now have 183 hours on the clock, and so far I've had the following problems. Nothing. I've literally just mowed with it. I haven't had any difficulties, any problems. There's one thing that happened, and I would absolutely love to be able to blame the mower for this, but I can't because it wasn't the mower's fault. I'd changed the oil, I can't remember, it was about 50 hours. Matter of fact, if you look at the previous video on this, I made a big deal about, well, when is it really the right time to change the oil for the first time? Because that first oil change is very, very important. So anyway, I've changed it a couple of times, and the last time I changed it, apparently, someone other than me must have put the oil filter on there because I couldn't get it off. Well, it was me. And I tried with, I have a bunch of oil filter wrenches for motorcycle oil filter. I thought I had a Kawasaki specific socket that fits right on the filter itself in my repertoire, and I did sort of, but it didn't do the job. It was not able to grab the filter sufficiently and pull it off, and the oil filter is kind of hard to get to. It's back in here. It's right there. It's behind all this superstructure here. You can get to it, but it's a little difficult, a little challenging. But anyway, I was not able to remove it, so I went ahead and, at the end of last season, I went ahead and replaced the oil. But it had been bothering me. It had been vexing me that I was putting that old dirty filter back on there. So I was so in such a case of overt despair that I went to the interwebs and I sampled a bunch of these. There are so many different kinds of oil filter wrenches out there that guarantee, you know, oh, there's no filter on planet Earth that we can't remove with this thing. You put this thing on there and you put your wrench in there at that 1/4 inch drive right there and boom, it's off. Well, I looked and they all look kind of crappy, but I picked one that said, I kind of like the design because, and I don't have it here. I should have brought it with me, but I just finished mowing and I'm tired. It has 3 fingers on it. It's 3 steel fingers like that. And then it has a base, and then it has a 3/4 inch drive in it, socket hole, if you will. So and what it does is as you turn it, those 3 prongs tighten up on the filter. And so I snuck it in there, got it on the filter, put my long extension on my socket drive, and lo and behold, the filter came off. So I was able to change it and put a brand new filter on there. I was able to do this before the season started, so that made me happy. That's been the big problem I've had. Otherwise, this thing has been a champ. I mow a lot. I've had to do both these pastures. There's pasture A, and this one up here, just beyond that horse trailer, that's pasture B, which I just did, and you'll see footage of. I did some footage for you. But you can see this is not an easy place for this mower to live. But so far, so good. It's held together beautifully and it cuts very, very well. And I have had I haven't had any problems. I just have to try to keep it clean. And I try to keep an eye on everything, make sure nothing's coming loose. I always check the belts very carefully to make sure they're doing all right. I have some spares. If I do need to change them, I can. Another bit of service I had done as far as break-in service is I had both the transaxles, had the oil changed on them, and I think I've got another 200 or 300 hours before that has to be done again. I'll have to check. But the transaxles, which are the Hydra gears, 3100s, I believe, they're doing fine. The thing drives beautifully. So far, so good. And I can't think of anything bad to say about this mower at all, and I'm very, very happy. It's made my life easier, let me put it that way, because as long as y'all quit, you have all this work you have to do. Look at all this. Good God, that's a lot of grass. Go over the hill, it goes down the hill in there and all the way. Anyway, as long as the machine works, what is already kind of a complex task is made so much easier if you don't have to sit here repairing stuff all the time. So I am hoping, I'll give you an update later, but I am hoping that it will continue on the path so far. And as far as wear and tear goes, I've done a horrible job at keeping it clean, except for I blow off the grass and stuff. But the seat, as you can see, there, I can't see, I got the sun in my eyes. It's holding up real nice. I mean, it's still in beautiful shape. It's comfortable. I still say the mower I have at home, which is an Icon, much smaller and less expensive, but for some reason that seat on that Icon is like fabulous. It's not as good as some of your seats on your Lexus cars or anything, but it's very comfortable. But so far, so good. It's holding together. We'll cross our fingers and hope it continues to do so. If you're in the market for one of these things, I think you can make a real good choice. You can also look, of course, at the Gravely HD, which I believe is pretty identical to this. They have the same engine, I think. I believe so. And I do recommend, if you have a hill, and I have a really nasty one that gets really slippery, you get the ROPS, the rollover protection system, which I had installed when I bought it. It's an extremely good piece of safety kit to have on there. All right then. So let's get mowing, and hope to see you again soon. Thanks for watching.
ist in heute Empirie, gesalke wollen, es empfiehlt eine